loud.
Hey, shalom, shalom. We're the brothers of the Great Millstone, Chicago branch. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim, B'Katadas.
Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops, salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work. Make sure they sincerely risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that look like those heathen nations. And to the few aquas that are listening and learning, we say shalom. We just gonna jump right into it. All right, so on the way here to meet with the brothers, I overheard a conversation that was happening right in front of me between the Asherite and the Simeonite. And the Simeonite, said that, she mostly spent her life, her early life in the Dominican Republic. And then she came to the Americas, and she went to school with mostly Puerto Ricans. All right? And that, Dominicans come in all different shades, from light to dark or whatever. And they never really, and even though it was some that looked white, they were never looked at or considered white by other Dominicans. All right? Now we know there's tares among all the tribes and among all people. But nevertheless, the girl told the Asherite, the dude from Brazil, that she experienced racism the first time she came around white people, and that it didn't feel good. And said she never even seen a so-called white person until she went to high school. Because when she went to grade school, she was in school with other Dominicans and other Ephraimites. And then when she went to high school, she went to school with white children. And that was the first time and that she experienced racism and that, and it hurt her feelings because she said at first she didn't understand what was happening, and then she understood what was happening. Right? So now she got beef with them, and so did the Asherite. So the conversation we were having before the camera came on is that even among the Northern Kingdom, as we waited so long for them to join, the rest of us, in this battle against our oppressors, that the Northern Kingdom they're waking up. All right, my wife is Northern Kingdom, and that's the conversation that she's having at work with other Northern Kingdom people, that they're talking about them being the Israelites, and they know who their oppressors are. So that the division is real and the exposure is real. You got something?
I got something for you, other. Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Right. And they're oppressed here now, and they were oppressed in the ancient world as well. All right? Because you got to remember, all of the Northern Kingdom wasn't here in the Americas when everything was going down, back in the homeland and back in Rome, in ancient Rome, that is. All right? When you were dealing with Paul and the rest of the apostles and the disciples, when they were edifying and teaching the true doctrine of the Lord, man, there was still some Northern Kingdom scattered among them then. So there's always been an oppression of us together, right? But the biggest place where it happened was here in the Americas, all right?
It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
They refused to let us go, and they call us by all these bywords, right? They call us by all these bywords, but Esau Edom is exposed, man. All right? Because all these made up nationalities that they created, colors, because if you went to the over there into Western Asia, what they fraudulently call the Middle East, if you went over to Western Asia, all you're going to see is a whole bunch of people that look like us in different shades thereof, man. Right? But those aren't the people that you actually, that you see on television. But that's all who's there. There's mixed in there. Ishmael, Ham, and there's a whole lot of Jake still there too. And other heathens. Elam, all right? You even got Ammon and Moab mixed in over there. It's a lot of people in that part of the world, and most of those people are what, what should be called swarthy, all right, and not black, all right? Because there's really no such thing as black. They created that negative term, that false connotation, just for the so-called Negroes, man. And it was really to hide who we were and then to hide who they were. That's why they created all these false nationalities. Man. Look at what you're going through now with Kamala Harris, right? Because, you know, I've seen all the memes. You saw the meme where she got on the Indian headdress with the dot on, and she's like Homer Simpson fading back into the bushes. And then she comes back out with a fro on and a fist up, right? But the truth of the matter is Kamala Harris is an Edomite. Right? Because her father's father is an Edomite. And her father's father is an Edomite. All right, real quick, just the basic scripture, Numbers 1 and 18. Real quick. Matter of fact, you hit it with that 1 Kings 8:19 as well. Or is it 2 Kings 8:19? The son that shall come forth out of our loins. That's actually one of my favorites. Put the numbers first. Just to prove that point.
This is the Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, 20 years old and upward by the poll.
So there it is, man. So Edom likes to use pseudoscience. You know, they create terms and terminology that they make up, and they create these definitions or newspeak, right? And then they apply that false science to reality just to make some shit up, man. Right? And that's exactly what it is. Pseudo means false, right? Or fraudulent.
There's a quote that always says, man, I tell so many lies, I dig a hole and continue to dig in that hole. The dang devil.
Because you don't want to get out, you don't want to expose his lie. The only way to keep it going is to dig more holes.
Dig more and tell more lies.
Tell more lies.
But what is, on the opposite side, what does the truth say? The truth is stand alone. I don't need lies to back the truth up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, the Bible said the truth shall make you free. Right? Ain't no lie gonna save you. Ain't no lie gonna preserve you the things to come. Right? First off, your whole history that you can learn is based off of lies.
Lies and more.
Right? Then the Lord said of the prophets to re-educate you of true history.
Hey, Bob, I don't know what you're saying. They got a bureau to go against what we just said. What's that bureau called?
That fights against lies.
Defamation.
Anti-defamation League, ADL.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
because we're finding out the truth and we're bringing it out. So therefore, they have to bring out laws and regulations to try to stop what we're saying and block our videos and stuff and regulate our videos and stuff, man. Right. Bring out the truth.
Yeah, and you don't have to create organizations and laws to protect the truth. You only have to create regulations and laws to protect lies. The truth stands on its own, man. Right? Anyone can go and look up and research what we're saying and find out that what we're saying is actually correct. If what I was saying wasn't correct, I wouldn't say it. If I couldn't back it up with scripture and history, I wouldn't say it. And see, that's the problem. That the truth is hurtful to someone who's built their whole existence based upon lies. All right, when you prospered from your lies, you know you don't want the truth to come out. Negative. All right, you want the lies to keep it keeps you in your place, it keeps you in front. All right, but when the truth puts you back and to the back of the line, they don't like that. Okay, I was listening to a man speak about that today. How the West doesn't know how to live in peace with any other nation. Where that nation is look, well, you can make money and we can make money. No, if you have something that they want, they're going to demonize you through their media, and then they're going to go to war with you. All right, Revelation 6 and 4. And then they're going to go to war with you so that they can have what you have. And the main part before they do that is to demonize you in their media. All right? And now you begin to understand why the small hats, why they bought up and control the media. All right? There's a reason for that. Prove your cause. You're shaking your head. Say something.
Right. Revelation 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
And that's and look, through unrighteous dealings, you know, and injuries. This is how these people operate. Right? They don't know how to because I mean even the other nations, you know, like China, for example. China's not going around the world declaring war with people. China actually wants to make money with you. So they'll come in and help build up your stuff so that you can have, because I guess what China is looking at it, like, well, shoot, if we go to war with you, that's less customers and less people to spend money and less business. But the West, no, they can't have it where you're wealthy and they're wealthy too, because you being wealthy, they feel like, you know, like that's some sort of threat to them. And you know, but that just go to show you, man, that they just have the warlike, and that's the Amalekites. They have that thievery, warlike spirit on them that they can't seem to turn off, man.
It says the thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That's his method of operation. And he has it worked for him. Right? How did he acquire America? It's not through, hey, Native Americans, let's share this land. This land is my land, this land is your land. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Esau came and said, no, all this shit is mine.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, Esau the rules, so he controls everything.
He benefits off the laws.
Like China, like the elder was saying, if China decides to revolt against Esau, he gotta go against all of Esau's friends. That'd be a losing cause.
Which actually has not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Right.
Yeah, because that's the problem now, because China has too many friends, and Russia is on the same thing. They're trying to make money. It's been the Russians who. That's why the Lord is going to put the spirit on them. Because what's that other dude? Because I believe in the old one, how they switched place. The one that used to be president, and now the one he's prime minister now or whatever. Medvedev.
I think something like that.
If Medvedev was still in office, the war would be kicked off already. All right. Yeah, that dude would be pushing all kind of buttons and pulling triggers and all. Yeah. So, but to believe me, because Putin's a little more level-headed and he's more of a strategist. All right. And the Lord's putting on the spirit of Putin to do financial war. To do this financial war against America, which has America on the fence now, which is why the dollar is dead. All right, and Americans are starting to see and feel that. That's why Gabby's husband, the white guy, Edomite, said what he said. He agreed with something I told him over 10 years ago. He told his wife that everything I said, he agrees with now. He didn't believe it back then, but he believes it now. Right, because he realizes that they are about to go digital, and they're going to try to force the people to be a part of that, even though the majority of the people are not with it and don't want that, and stand to lose a lot of wealth. The only people that stand to profit from this are the elites. The regular average person, they don't stand to profit from this at all.
Unless you get that chip stuck in your ass.
Exactly.
That's the only way you're going to prosper around here. That's the only way.
Can I bring out something?
Absolutely.
This is Ezekiel 39:1. It says, therefore, the Son of Man, prophesy against God, and say, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and leave, but, matter of fact, let me go to 38. Here we go. This is the book of Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And we know that land right now, who's occupying that land at the end of days? You got the so-called Russians, the Edomites who call themselves Russians, right?
Exactly.
And it says, I will turn thee back, right? Because the elder was talking about, if you had that other dude in power, he would have been blew shit up.
Yeah.
Right? The Lord set up this man right now, Putin, to really make more packs. He's doing more packs before all hell breaks loose.
It's worse with Putin, though, because Putin has united all these other nations.
Yeah.
All right, and then on top of that, with that nut job, Benjamin Milkowski,
that's a nut job.
all right, in office pushing it for this genocide, he helped the Russians' cause, and what he did was he really fucked up, because he took the whole Arab world, which did not get along, which was not united, and united them together. And now they're in majority of the Arab nations, or the Muslim nations, I should say, not only the Arabs, but because you got Muslims in Africa, Muslims in Europe. He brought all these Muslims together, and so all of them are. There's a lot of them in India. Probably about half. You got Hindus in India and Pakistan, and you got Muslims in India and Pakistan, right? So he's brought the whole Muslim world, you know, together. Right? They playing horribly.
Horribly,
Right?
no flavor. And it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth all thine army, horses, horsemen, all them clothed with sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Right, so I watched General, what's his name? I think it's McGregor, and ex-Marine weapons inspector, Colonel Ritter. Both of them said that Israel has started something that they cannot finish, that past the point of return, and they're going to be annihilated. That's exactly what he said, and it's true because it's scripture. It has to happen, right? And then, you know, Benjamin Milkowski came over here to America and talked and spoke very bold words here on American soil, showing you that the Congress, not the people, right? But Congress is ran and controlled by the small hats, who are not the people of the Lord. And that's another talk point when people are speaking about Western Asia. They know, and they speak about it. Now you got Americans speaking about it. A Christian, white Christian American speaking about it, condemning the small hats, saying that you're not the people you're claiming to be. So you committing all this genocide and all this war, pushing buttons and launching bombs in the name of fraud, because you're not what you claim to be. You don't have the right to return to a place that you were not from, right? You just don't have it.
Nope. They also just killed one of those top Hamas generals. I just did a video about that because that set off, in Iran. But that just set, all these generals, he popped up and they know where to point the finger at.
Yeah.
Hamas. They just killed the president of Iran. Now you kill a Hamas leader in Iran. Hamas.
I'm speaking on the side. They point the finger on the side.
No, you said the side. Oh, yeah.
Of course they point the finger.
No, you got it. You're right. Who else they gonna point to, man? Who else are they fighting? Right? Like the elder said, all the Arabs are fighting goddamn Amalekites. Small headers, man.
Yeah. And a lot of deaths between them and the CIA make it look like an accident.
And they just said
they're experts at that.
Oh yeah, they just said the new rally cry out there is to allow the soldiers to start raping the women over there.
Oh yeah. I just seen it.
Oh, well, they've been doing that all along.
Oh yeah, but it's coming forward.
It's now coming out. The Israeli soldiers have been raping women the entire time. All right, and now it's coming out to the forefront. All right, so they and then they say, oh, well, this is war. They were talking about it happening way back since 1967 when they were when they first started taking the land. All right.
You said you want to go that
Absolutely. And I would have started off by speaking about that those of us who are about to die. Right? That series that's on people. Yeah. So in that series, those of us who are about to die, in episode 3 of that show, they prove what we've been saying is true all along. In episode 3, because there's a scene with Kwame where it's talking to he's a gladiator slave, and he's talking to the Edomite slave, and they're having a conversation back and forth about where they're from and their history and stuff. And basically, Kwame starts talking about at the time, back in the time when the black pharaohs ruled Egypt. He says it right there in the show. Prove to you that the elites know, that Peacock knows, and what happened during it. And so what happened during the time of the black pharaohs that he was speaking about in the series? That's when the Israelites came to be. All right, and that's who they were freed from. Those very same people that he spoke about in that show, they told on themselves. Right? Look, toward the end of the episode, the Judean queen, who was one of them converts from John Hyrcanus, she talks she's banging Titus. But the show is about Vespasian, Domitian, and Titus, the Vespasian, right? Which is all found right there in the Maccabees. Go ahead.
This first Maccabees, I'm going to read 10 and 57. So Ptolemy went out of Egypt with his daughter Cleopatra, and there came unto Ptolemais in the 100th year, 62nd year. So when you hear Cleopatra, when you hear about Ptolemy, Egypt, you're thinking of black people, so-called Hamites. No, this is so-called Edomites. These are the Edomites who came and took over that land.
Yes.
Right? Because what was going on? When you hear about what? When you go back to Carthage, right? And what's that? Hannibal?
Carthage and Hannibal.
Carthage and Hannibal. What, man, you got fucking crackers invading Africa. You got niggas invading Spain, invading Italy. You got going back and forth. So we've been going up into the European, so-called European countries.
And there are many relics there to prove it. From that time period and from the period of the Dark Ages. All right, so basically, they right there to show, they let you know that the pharaohs were black before they were so-called whites. All right, and that's why you have artifacts that shows you Edomite pharaohs, but they showing you artifacts from the time of the Ptolemies, not from the time of the pharaohs during the time of Moses and of Joseph and the Israelites. Right, so the Israelites were dealing with the Hamite pharaohs, not the Edomite pharaohs. And then they turn around and the Judean queen admits that her grandfather was Herod. All in the same show, in the same episode. Episode 3, Esau fucked up. All right, he made a big mistake. All right.
No, it's been good.
Thank you very much. Y'all call it lunch. You guys have a good. Be safe. Thank you.
Hey, the scripture says that when you please the Lord, even thy enemies will be at peace with thee. Cops just stopped and check on us. Make sure that demon went out here. Was out here last week. All right.
Shabbat, you want to get that Maccabees down for the other?
Yeah. So this woman, she admits that her forefather was Herod. Now you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Matter of fact, start with episode 3, then go back to verse 1 and go through. Start with episode 3, then go back to 1 and watch through. All right? That's where the most crucial historical information comes out in episode 3, proving that the Israelites came up and were mixing, mingling with the dark pharaohs, right? And that the Jewish people came about when the converts happened. Yeah. Okay?
It looked like Israel was the main problem for that Roman Empire because that was like the last battle.
That whole region.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, when you read in verse 9, you begin to see why. And I mean in chapter 9. So we can start there.
Start at 1, right?
Yeah.
This is Maccabees, 2 Maccabees 9 and 1. It says, about that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia.
Now, before you get to there, Israel has just experienced a lot of death, a lot of destruction. All right? They have just experienced a lot of death and a lot of destruction at the hands of Edomites and some of the heathens that were joined unto Esau, even some of the Israelites. Wicked 2/3 that were joined unto the Edomites. Read.
It says, for it had entered the city called Persepolis,
Yeah.
and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with weapons put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus began put to flight of the inhabitants returned with shame.
So he returned with shame, man. All right? Because he came up against the Israelites and the Lord put the spirit on them to fight and win. Because they had just suffered a tremendous defeats. When you read from chapter like 2 all the way up to this chapter 8. All right? You know, they just suffered a lot of defeats and a lot of pain, man. A lot of suffering. So now the Lord is starting to get back at them. What's 2 Thessalonians? Get what you got. Then grab that 2 Thessalonians. When this man of sin being revealed. Matter of fact, just hold it. Don't even go to it. Just hold it. Go ahead and get what you gotta get.
We were talking about this. What were we dealing with? The elder was talking about the war that we were dealing. We was going to war with these goddamn Edomites coming out.
While you're looking for it, I'll read this real quick. This is 2 Maccabees 8:4. And remember the wicked slaughter of the harmless infants and blasphemies committed against his name, and that he showed hatred against the wicked. So they had slaughtered many of our people, including women and children, infants. That's what Esau does. They did it to, as soon as they got here, they did it to Gad. When they were taking America, they did the very same thing to Gad and Reuben when they came here.
Right.
You go ahead and keep reading until you find it. Just keep on reading, brother.
So verse 3, it says, now when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him what had happened unto Nicanor and Timotheus.
Right. So Israel was starting to rack up the W's now. The Lord was putting the spirit on the Maccabees and was giving them those victories, man. Right? They were heading out those 5th deeds on their ass. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4 says, then swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee.
So you can see him running, throwing his helmet, pulling his hair, kicking up dust. He mad as hell. Right. You're right. His men got that ass whooped. So many of his men were dead. All right. Go ahead.
He says, therefore commanded he his chariotmen to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey to judgment of God now following him. For he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews.
So he basically saying, I'm gonna come to Jerusalem, all right? And then they love putting that J word in there. Matter of fact, you can start replacing that word with Israelites, because that's what they did. All right, because there's a confusion connected to the J-E-W word, because they connect that word to the small head converts. So when people hear it, you understand what I'm saying? So that wasn't done by accident. That was done on purpose. All right, that's talking, and this wasn't talking about the John Hyrcanus converts. This is talking about the actual people, right? The Israelites, right? Israelites never referred to themselves as Jews or Jewish. Okay.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Maccabees 2, and I'm going to start at 6. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judea and in Jerusalem, he said, woe is me, wherefore I was born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers, her temples to become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
Wow.
What nation have not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?
See, so the other nations were joined on to the heathens that were helping do this. Right? And then they brought pork in there and all kind of abominations. They were having all kind of lewd sex acts. All kind of wickedness was happening within our holy places. Remember, the Edomites say, aha, even the high places are ours today. Right? Well, they did it back then too. All right?
Verse 5 says, but the Lord Almighty, Yahweh of Israel.
It didn't say of the Jews.
No, it says Yahweh of Israel. It says, smite him with an incredible and invincible plague,
So see, he got this incurable thing that there was no relief from, nowhere he was done. Go ahead.
It says, or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of bewails that of his bowels that was remediless came upon him, and some
sore torments
of the inner part.
So he felt all these pains in his gut, man. Now you gotta remember that these Romans, these Edomites were constantly cutting people, cutting people and pulling their entrails out. Yeah. All right. So the Lord, you know, when we tell you that the Lord is gonna kill you or punish you with your own devices, all right, that's one of their fetishes. They used to love to cut you, because you're still alive. Yeah. They slit your stomach and pull your entrails. Yeah. You still can live for, you know, you live it right. You know, you don't die instantly from that. Exactly. You die slowly and painfully, bleeding out. Right?
Like hanging you over the cross, right? Let you suffer, let you wait.
Yeah.
Just,
Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, how about he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride.
So he still was talking shit. Go ahead.
Bothering out fear in his rage against the Jews. And he
place that word Israel.
Oh, so like,
remember, they put that word there on purpose. All right. Matter of fact, as I read now, I'm starting to do that.
Okay.
All right, because you cannot call Israel, you know, Jewish. It's a nation. It was a nation of Israel. It was the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, not the 12 tribes of Jewish.
Exactly.
All right. You got to remember that the letter J wasn't even created until 1534, and they didn't begin calling themselves Jewish until the 1830s. All right. So that's a new lie. Okay.
With both of his wives of it.
Yeah, yeah. As he walking past the destruction of Loyola, ancient building, old building, and I would have sworn that that building had landmark status. All right. Hey, Shalom.
It says, howbeit nothing at all ceased from being from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Israelites, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from the chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall.
I love this story, because he's on this chariot in pain, talking shit. Then the Lord tripped his goof ass.
Oh shit!
Right, and he fell and bust his ass and was in pain everywhere now. So now he was in pain everywhere. But see, that's what happens when you scoff the Lord, when you scoff the men of the Lord, when you scoff the truth. All right, you run your mouth, but you can't debate that cause. All right, go ahead.
It says, carry violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pain.
Yeah, so the Lord gave him pain everywhere now. All right, now he's in pain everywhere. Keep reading.
It says, and thus he that little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea, so proud was he beyond the condition of man.
So this man literally thought he was a god, man, because he had killed so many of our people, so many of the tribes, man. You know, he literally thought he was a god. All right, he was very, very proud, man, and the Lord jacked him up. First, he gave him the pain in his stomach, all right, and the worms in his stomach, and then he started running his mouth, talking shit. And then the Lord knocked him down off the chariot. All right? Go ahead.
It says, he beyond the condition of man, and weight the high mountains in a balance, was now cast on the ground and carried in a hustler, showing forth unto all the manifest power of Yahweh.
Right, so the only true power is our power, man. That's it. All right? And this, in the same way that Edomite got struck down, the ones in power today are about to get the same thing, man. All right? They're about to find out that all they guns and they missiles, they say you humans and your guns. All right? You homo sapiens and your guns. All right? You're about to find out that all your weapons, they're going to be useless against the men of the Lord when that time comes back. All right?
One thing about the Roman Empire that's similar to the American Empire, they want you to forget about your customs, right? Your traditions that you had with your family, right? Once a person comes from India or China, they come to America, they forget about their old customs. They take on that American custom. So,
but then they want you to uplift their customs.
Exactly.
Right? And then they want to do business with you, and they'll stand side by side with you as long as you acknowledge that they're above you.
That's it.
That's what it really comes down to. All right? And truly, according to the scriptures, they're the basis of men. Basis mean lowest. All right?
All men.
Of all men. They're literally on the totem pole of humankind. They're literally at the Lord said it, he put the basis on top. That was a punishment to us. Not only am I going to put these people over you, I'm going to put these low-life pieces of shit over you. And they're going to be proud and bold for a period of time. At the Wadi Yahweh, we're in that period of time where that pride is being struck down, because the average American isn't as proud as they once were. All right? Because they can see the empire collapse. Go ahead.
You can't even stand out here.
Yeah, go ahead.
This 2nd Ezra is 7 and 6. I'm going to start at 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. And it reads, Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand first held the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
Go ahead, expound on it.
Yeah, so we've been talking about this Roman Empire, because in the Bible it talks about the deadly wound was healed. That's speaking about the Roman Empire coming back as what? These Europeans that you see in power right now. Whether they be in Europe, or they be in America, South Africa, whether they be in Russia, they're still Edomites.
And yeah, and the ones in South Africa, they're helpless.
They're helpless.
And the ones over here, the ones over here about to be, the ones over here about to experience what they're over there. And then the ones over there realize that the ones in America didn't give a shit about them. Because they were asking for help, right? And then the Australians, did nobody go help them?
Right? That goes back to who the Edomites are, those ones in South Africa go back to the Dutch Edomites. Same ones that first came here to America. What happened to those Western Edomites? They got overran by the British, the Spanish, and the French. So you have different classes of Edomites, man. They come through, man. They tear shit down, man.
So clearly they look down on the Dutch.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, they're not really, we don't know what tribe they are, their ancient name, but clearly they low on the Edomite totem pole.
They call you pigs.
Go back in that book and go to 728.
Which chapter?
Wherever you were, 6. Second after 6.
All right, this is verse 27, and it reads, For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
Right. So the truth, which have been so long without fruit, is being declared, and people have a hard time. The truth makes people uncomfortable. That's why they don't like hearing it. And when it makes some people more uncomfortable than others. Because the truth of the matter is that the truth that's in the Holy Scriptures, it doesn't benefit everybody. Because they taught you through Christianity and all these other religions, it's all inclusive, all right? But it's not all inclusive, because anyone can convert to Judaism. But the Bible isn't a Jewish book. It's not about Judaism. The Bible is about law, statutes, and commandments. It even tells you that in all throughout the Bible. All right. As a matter of fact, in the Maccabees, there's a scripture that says that the Israelites were all about their husbandry. Right. Okay, we're the bride to Yahushua. We're the bride to the Lord. All right, and the Lord is bringing us back to the Father, man. That's what it is. All right, He's our mediator, our lawyer. Okay, and you can't go to the Father without Him. You know, so you Old Testament only, you know, the Jakes, Israelites out there. Hey, man, y'all, you know, look, the New Testament is nothing but a testament of the disciples teaching the Old Testament. That's why they're always saying, "Thus as it was written." They didn't. It didn't mean it was new. It was a new doctrine. They're saying they were always going to the Old Testament to teach. Duh. What's wrong with y'all?
How can you get the new if
right?
you don't have
look at
so-called
right, and then you know, in Isaiah the 53rd chapter describes who the world ignorantly calls Jesus to the T. All right, we've been waiting for him, and now he came and gone, and we're waiting for him to come back again. As simple as that. And he's showing us all the signs. He's about the destruction of this building is a sign in itself, man. All right, that was an American stronghold for a place like that.
It's the book of John 14:6. Yahweh Shai said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man cometh unto me, unto the Father, but by me. Right? Because one thing you got to understand, the Lord's not dealing with the Christianity of this world. Where did you learn that Christianity from? Your enemy. Right? You think your enemy is going to give you the keys to a prison for you to get the hell out? Right? Jesus is not the Savior. Has Jesus saved the Native Americans? Has Jesus saved the Negroes? Right? Who has this guy saved?
Jesus didn't save Sonia Massey either.
Yeah, she called on his name. She called. As a matter of fact, when you learn, when you actually have knowledge and wisdom, when you learn, you understand that that's earth big. Right? So she called on earth big. That's goes to show you how little regard they gave him a false image and a false name. Proper nouns do not translate. Right? They don't translate, man. They know his name was Yahweh Shai. Right? They know the Father's name was Yahweh. They're very aware of this. Right? But those people that are in charge, it's just you peon, regular, everyday people who don't know. Right? But now many of you do, especially if you've been watching the videos. And this stuff you can go and cross-check and cross-reference. Okay? Point blank period. But the word G, meaning earth, and sus, meaning pig. So they call it, you call it on earth pig. And remember, the letter J wasn't created to 1534 AD. Right? The Lord died, 1,500 years, 1,500 years before that. And the letter J, the J sound wasn't in the earth. No one said that. No one said John or January or Jehovah. No, that word, no one spoke that. That sound was created. He was the Edomite who created it was playing with the letter I and put the hook on it and gave it a new sound.
We talked about that earlier.
All right, you can't get around this, man. Right? Don't open your mouth if you're not gonna go and study. You can go. It's okay. Yeah, man. So the truth is the truth.
I got something. This Jeremiah 20:15 says, I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, man. And you're not going to get this in these churches. You're not going to get to these places where these Muslims and all that. They're going to give you what we're giving the people, man. We're giving the people knowledge we don't understand. We're giving them prophecies that's coming to pass. All these things, man, that are fruitful and benefit for those who are the elect to wake up out of sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we draw to. We talking to wake up on.
Go back to Maccabees and go to verse 15 and we're going to read on down. Right? Because the Lord jacked this dude up, man. He jacked him up. Right? And that's the same thing that's going to happen to these people here who've wronged us. Because Miss Macy was a 2/3. She still was an Israelite woman, though. Right? So that's the thing, that the Lord would allow a 2/3 to die. Plenty of them died in this book, No, we're in 9. 9. We're gonna start at 9 and Second Maccabees 9. Yeah, in 15. All right, we're gonna start reading down. Let me research you brothers, you know.
And the others bringing out true history that these Edomites don't want to touch at all.
They won't make a movie about this.
Exactly.
Then they want to banish this book.
Yeah.
They got rid of it. They pulled it out the Bible.
Right.
Another fantasy books and stuff.
Yeah, that's why they shut down Mel Gibson when he tried to make a movie about the Maccabees. Because if you go into the Maccabees, you find out that the Spartans were Israelites. And now you got a problem. Because you didn't connected them to this Greek culture, which they were Hellenized Israelites, but they were Israelites. So now you're going to have to explain that, and they don't want to talk about that, because that's going to mess up the established lies, false pseudo-history that they've already projected about Europe.
And why is the president sworn in on a book that they done pulled out the Bible? Remember he was on the Apocrypha?
Yeah, they read a scripture out of the Wisdom of Solomon.
When they're reading out of Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, well, they have the old school Bible. I got one of big. I got a one from 1854, I believe. It's big as hell with the Apocrypha still in it. Right? He's sworn on one of those. Right? Go ahead, brother.
This verse 2 Maccabees 9-15. He says, and he touching the Israelites, whom had judged not worthy so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts. He would make them all equal to the citizens of Athens.
So now he's trying to make peace. He's in so much pain and he's stinking. When he burps, his men can't even stand to be around. Right, his men are, they don't even want to defend him. They set up a circle, a big ass 100-meter perimeter around him. Right. Right, they gotta have a 100-meter perimeter around his ass. But they couldn't get close to him. He couldn't even stand himself. When you know when you can't stand, when you can't stand yourself, man. Everybody that had one of them village visit to the bathroom where you running out for your damn self. Now he like that all the time, 24/7. Right? Okay, Lord jacked him up, man. Go ahead.
Verse 16. It says, and the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would blemish with goodly gifts. And restore. It says, and the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would get blemish with the goodly.
He would garnish.
Garnish with the goodly gifts, and restore all the holy vessels with many more, and out of his own revenue defray the charges belonging to the sacrifice.
So now he's trying to return all that he has stolen and then add even more. All right? All right? So now he's trying to restore. All right? He's trying to restore all that he stole now. All right? Because the Lord, he knows that the Lord, and we don't know what kind of dreams he was having, what the Lord was doing to him. All right? Verse 17.
In 2 Maccabees 9:17. Yea, and that also he would become a Jew, Israel himself, and go through all the world that was inhabited.
So he also was aware of the converts. You see, he said he would become, an Ish himself. All right, and the Ishes were only the Edomites. All right, the ones, the Idumeans who had been forcibly converted. Either lay down, get down and lay down by John Hyrcanus. All right, so he was one. So that's what he was talking about. He wanted to follow. I'm gonna become one myself. All right, no, man. Go ahead.
And declare the power of Yahweh.
So now he declaring the power of Yahweh, calling on his name. All right, read.
How y'all doing?
What's up, bro?
2 Maccabees 9:18. Yeah, we had no trouble. Yeah, so we good though. That's fine. Yeah. 2 Maccabees 9:18. But for all this, his pains would not cease. For he just for the judgment of Yahweh was come upon him. Therefore, despairing of his help, he wrote unto the Jews, to the Israel, the letter underwriting containing the form of supplication after this manner. Antiochus, king and governor to the good Israel, his citizens.
So now all of a sudden we the good Israelites.
Oh, yeah.
To my citizens. All right, go ahead.
Wish of much joy, health, and prosperity. Indeed, your children fare well, and your affairs to be your containment.
And I cannot wait till the powers that be are humbled in the same manner, man. Because the humbling is coming, man.
Oh, yeah.
The humbling is coming. Go ahead.
I give very great thanks to Yahweh, having my hope in heaven. As for me, I was weak, or else I would have remembered kindly your honor and goodwill, returning out of Persia, and being taken with grievous disease. I thought it necessary to care for the common safety of all. 2 Maccabees 9.
Jump down to 25 now.
9 and 25.
No, 27. Because that basically it goes on with him apologizing and, you know, whatever. But the Lord didn't take back the pain off him. And well, you'll see what happens to him.
27?
Yeah.
2 Maccabees 9 and 27. For I am persuaded that he understand my mind will favorably and graciously yield to your desires. This the murder and blasphemy, having suffered most grievous as he entreated other men, so died he a miserable death in a strange country in the mountains.
Right, so he was so funked that they sent him up into the mountains, this man, and he died up there miserable among strangers, all right, in a worse way than he entreated, all right, because you read in 6 what happened to Eleazar, you read in chapter 7 what happened to the 7 brothers and their mother, all right. So, and all the countless Israelites that he put to the sword, like he said, the infants and the small children and the women, man. And so now, the Lord got his ass, all right? And gave him much loss. He lost many men, man. The Lord rose up the Maccabees and gave them many victories over him. And they spoiled him the sword. And then in all through chapter 8, the Maccabees basically playing Robin Hood. They giving out all the gold to the people. They were taking care of the maimed, the ones who got hurt in the fight, the ones who were the widows, the orphans. All the Israelites was bling blinging. All right. Go ahead.
Finish it off.
Yeah.
2 Maccabees 9 and 29. And Philip, there was brought up with him, carried away his body, who also, fearing the son of Antiochus, went to Egypt to Ptolemy's Philemorto.
Yeah, so he's the next devil that got to be dealt with. All right, and guess what? So when we talked about Rome, ancient Rome, all right, and America is the beast that was wounded but did live. So we're in Rome all over again, man. Right? And guess what? All the Maccabees are here. All the prophets are here. All right, they're all back. All right, and they're on the highways and byways declaring the end of the Roman Empire for good. The second time, it's for good, man. And get that scripture, somebody, real quick. That iniquity won't raise up a second time. And that's for that moron Hassad, you know, talking about, you know, in the kingdom we gonna have to fight, you know the Edomites again, which was a retarded statement, man. Right? And any other precepts y'all got, bring them out.
No, I got one for you other right quick. This is the book of this is the book of Revelation 13, and I'm gonna start at 3. And it reads, matter of fact, let me start at 2. Revelation 13 and 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet was as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power, and his seat in the dragon and authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Right. Go ahead. You want to break it down?
Oh no, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was there's a movie coming out with Denzel Washington, The Second Gladiator. All right, part 2, and the person that he's playing was a real person, and he was a man of color, just like portrayed by Denzel. So once again, when we're looking at the 3rd episode of those who are about to die, or those about to die, and he told the truth about when the pharaohs were black, and then when the Judean or the Jewish queen said that she was the granddaughter of Herod the Great, okay, or great granddaughter of Herod the Great, via her father, from father to father to her, the truth is coming out. All right, the truth is coming out, and what you got to understand is that Jake was all in the military. They were the slaves, the servants, the businesses in the marketplace. They were all in it. Jake rose up and took over. And they took over not only Rome, but all of Europe for a 1,000-year period. And that was a 1,000-year period that's spoken of. And then in the Renaissance, at the end of that 1,000-year period, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he got the dominion again. Remember, go back to the Genesis when he said, "Thou will break thy yoke off thy brother." So Esau rose up and got the dominion again, right? And so we've had, and he said, but it also tells you in Revelation that, you know, that this beast, the dragon, he would be loose for a little time, right? So it's been, you know, a little bit over 500 years now, and this is we at the end of it, the Wadi Yahweh, because I don't think I can take much more, man. I don't think anyone can, man. All right, we're sick, the earth is sick, the trees are sick, the plants are sick, everything's sick, the animals. All right, this man is messing us up, man, including his own people. You know, him who would be evil unto himself, to whom will he do good? All right? You got him?
Okay. Jeremiah 30:8. Where shall come to pass in that day, says the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
So there it is, man. Because there was a 1,000-year period when Esau was on the bottom. His women were bedwetters. He was servants. All right? That's what it was. All right? They were the wild men. When you watch, what was that, Game of Thrones? The people, the wildlings? That was Esau during the Dark Ages. They were the wildlings. All right? There's art to prove it. All right? You have that 1500, I think it's a tapestry from the 1530s of Jake in garments not different from our own that we're wearing, with bandanas on and with armor and gold on, all right, fighting and defending the castle from Edomites with clubs and sticks and primitive weapons. All right, exactly. So where's this in the movies in history? Because Hollywood, that's another reason why people have such a hard time with the truth, because Hollywood is portrayed, they portrayed this false narrative that during the time of the Middle Ages, of the Dark Ages, and during the time of the Lord, during the time of Rome, that you know, that Europe was just all white until they brought in the slaves from the surrounding lands. Right. No, man, Europe was full of dark people. All right, and the Edomites took it over. Alexander of Macedon took over Europe, and over time turned it so-called white. And as a matter of fact, Europe sits in Asia. That's why it's called Eurasia. It sits in Asia. So you don't see Europe in the Bible. What you see in the Bible is Asia, and it was talking about the portion of it that you call Europe today as well. All right.
Even in the movie 300, he said they conquered all of Asia.
There it is. He didn't say all of Europe. Nope. Duh. All right, that's basically a new speak term, but that they made that up to
power construct type thing. Is
that false construct for the whole narrative on the racial construct that was created by Johann Blumenbach and then Darwin. When you put them together, right? They created the whole. They took Ham, Shem, and Japheth and attached them to Negroid, Caucasoid, and Mongoloid. All right, that's what they did. They attached their pseudoscience to the truth. The same way that the converts attached the word Jew or Jewish to the Israelites. So when you speak about it, you know, people get all confused, right? But the Talmudic worshipers, all right, they're not the same as the ancient Israelites. They're not the same people, okay?
And you cannot convert to this. You had to already been an Israelite to come back.
Yeah, that word adopt means to be brought back. You can't be brought back to something you were never part of. All right?
And like you said earlier, we know your teachers who converted you. We got records of that.
Yeah.
So it's not a mystery.
And then they try to they try to laugh it off and say that it's a myth, but you got. Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah.
But now you got Edomites talking about the Khazars. Christians talking about the Khazars. Right? I was watching what's the pretty Moabite that got the news channel with the big old breasts. Kim Iverson. All right? She was talking about the Khazars. Okay? Yeah. She was like, well, basically talking about Mimi and them, said that they're not the people. You know, we all know about the Khazarian converts. Okay? So, that lie, and this also keeps being brought out too, that October 7th was orchestrated by B.B. Milkowski. All right? Because we're not going to call him that other name, because we know he's Milkowski. That other shit he made up. He was born Milkowski. Right?
That's not their names.
Right.
When we talked about that the other day, they changed the names, man.
Elder, in the movie, what's the movie we love watching? They got part 2 where it's about the motherfucking Germans in Germany. Germany constantly shot down. It's a Keatsman. Yeah, so in the Keatsman, one of the rulers in one country, he know they about to go down. He tell his family, don't worry. We already got visas in France with French names. Man, Esau, that's what he do. When he knows society about to collapse, man, he done already set up plans to migrate.
Well, that's what his alternative plans are. To run to their bunkers.
It's called contingency plan.
We know that his contingency plan. What was that movie? 2012 called Scarred. Right? When he was telling his nephew how they were Russian and they were fighters. As soon as he got that phone call, he left his nephew right in the ring. And he got knocked out. That's right, because he so messed up in the head, he can't believe his uncle was leaving while he's in this fight. All right? If he loved his nephew so much, he should have brought him with him and left that old adulterous ass woman. Should have brought his nephew.
Elder, in the movie, they were selling tickets for these boats, years before the 2012 even happened.
Yeah, it
they
is.
show you in the beginning of the movie, man, they were going to all the rich billionaires and telling them about what's about to happen.
Isn't that what's happening right now?
Come on, man.
They done went to all these billionaires telling them to go build bunkers. Our fleet, one of the two.
Yeah, exactly.
These are your options.
And that's why you got these millionaires and billionaires that are building bunkers, right? Because all these people walking back and forth, there's gonna be doomsday out here. If you ain't seen doomsday, go watch doomsday.
They can call fish food, Goyle.
That dude tripping. A lot of niggas gonna die in the bunkers, man. That's your profit.
Man, that slow fat bastard, they gonna eat him. Yeah, he gonna be in a hot tub. He gonna be in a hot tub with Jews. They gonna eat his ass.
Dark meat.
They gonna get out that pool, turn the heat up, and boil his ass. Throw some salt and pepper on him.
Hey, these niggas think they gonna be rapping for the elites.
Okay.
Y'all niggas done lost your minds. They don't want no niggas around in that new world,
No,
man.
hell no.
Exactly.
That's Obadiah 1-1. Or somebody got something?
Yeah,
Bring it out. Damn bug, keep on
Obadiah.
damn devil.
Obadiah, verse 1. Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Right, and guess what? That's how Antiochus was. Right? Before the Lord got his ass.
The Indianapolis Boulevard, the Kennedy is an hour heading up to the airport now.
Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith Yahweh.
Yeah, it is, man. So, go ahead, bring it down.
And that's how proud these Edomites are. They think they can outsmart the Lord, man. And the Lord says they're going to beat that. They're going to bring them down to the ground. They're going to go into captivity, man. You know? Because that eagle, they use that eagle. That's how you know. That's how you know when Esau at, because they use that symbolism, man. Because the eagle is the proudest bird in the habitation.
It's a prideful, hateful bird, man. And it flies higher than all the other birds. Go ahead, brother.
This is Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and from the holes of the rock.
There it is, man.
Come on. And we already know the thing that the Lord is using to fish is with this gospel. This is that hook that the Lord's throwing out. We've seen people walk past and they, like you were saying that right now, Elder, they're inquiring. You got the Northern Kingdom inquiring about the Israelites, talking about this topic.
Yeah.
Right? You got Amalek being exposed.
Actually, everyone is at that point. All right? Because a lot of these people, with these talk shows, these Edomites that keep talking about, you know, about the Khazarians and things like that, then now you got to talk about who the real Israelites are.
Yeah.
So believe me, when the cameras go off, they're talking about that too. They don't want to acknowledge us, but they know in their heart of hearts, and they know that we're telling the truth. There's too much evidence, man. And not to mention that there's a war between Christianity and Judaism that they don't like to acknowledge either, man. Because the rabbis boldly tell you that Christianity is Esau, all right, and that they are to be slaves upon the return of their Messiah. And that's